Hello, y'all. I'm here with my UFC recap video. It happened last night. I hope you saw it. It was another great event from the UFC. Whether there's names on the card or no names on the card, even though there was names on this card, this could have been a pay-per-view card. Either way, great fights coming from the UFC. The fighters are putting on awesome fights because there's a lot of them are getting chances that they don't normally get. So please take the time to check out these incredible fights. Now, real quick before I get into my recap, can somebody, please help me out and give me some information on some websites that I can go to that will have the information that the UFC official website should have, but does not. So I tried to make my prediction the day of. I'm looking at, okay, I know it's Colby versus Tyron, but who else is fighting? I knew Cowboy and a couple other names. I could not find out who was fighting on the UFC website. All it said was how to watch, ESPN Plus, go here, go there. Okay, watch who? Who am I trying to watch? Who else is on the card? This isn't boxing where we're just looking forward to the main event. No, a lot of us are looking forward to quite a few fights on the card. Who else is fighting? I couldn't find it. Usually you can click on it, get the fighter breakdowns, comparisons, all of that. Nothing. No information. Official website. This is ridiculous. This is not the first time I've complained about the website. The website is trash. It's trash. So please, somebody help me out. Help me find out where I can go so I don't have to spend hours looking up all this individual information all over the web, information that should be readily available on the official UFC website. Okay, now let's get into good times because I got all of my picks right. Perfect night for me. So y'all gotta follow me on everything. I gotta do my picks on Twitter and Instagram after hours of research, but I got all of my picks right. So let's go ahead and get into this. I didn't know how many fights were actually on the main card, so I only made 5 picks. I think 5. I'm pretty sure it was 6. Yeah, 5 picks, and I got them all right. So I did not pick Holland. I didn't get the Holland fight. I didn't do a breakdown for that, but Holland did win. Although he disagrees. I haven't seen that fight yet, so y'all let me know what happened in that fight. Do you agree? Should he have gotten the decision, or do you think, like him, that he should not have gotten the decision? Now, on to the picks I did make. Again, I got all of my picks correct, so I don't have to go through and say that. So let's just go ahead and break down the rest of these fights. So we saw Mackenzie Dern get the victory against Randa Marcos in the first round. Again, her jiu-jitsu is beautiful. She was trying to showcase that she's been working on her stand-up game, and she threw a kick. She threw a kick so hard that she whipped her legs out from underneath her and landed on her back hard, like she got slammed on the ground. What? She did it to herself. She did it to her. It was loud. We was like, dang, Mackenzie. So of course Randa took advantage of that and got on top. Mackenzie got her little position where she likes to secure the triangle and then like kind of pull on your head and pull your head down. So Randa's trying to shake her off. Eventually, Mackenzie's able to reverse the position and get on top. She is in half guard. She's trying to get an arm bar. She gets Randa's arm over her hip, but she still has that leg in the guard. Plus, Randa's doing the other things that she needs to do, the hand fight, to not get submitted. So it takes a minute there. She's adjusting. She adjusted. She moves it from one hip to the other hip. She's adjusting. She gets Randa to open her legs a little bit so she can snatch her leg out of her guard, and then she gets the perfect leverage. Tap, tap. This was a beautiful move. When you are as good of a jiu-jitsu practitioner as her, you get that kind of time. You get to move around and work and work and work. You're going to get the submission. Eventually your opponent is not going to have the right counter move for you because you're just too good. And that's where she's at. She's got beautiful jiu-jitsu. She's in a stacked division, but she's working her way around up there. She's got eyes on her, good team behind her. Who would you like to see Mackenzie Dern fight next? I got eyes on her. She's one to watch. She's one of my fighters to watch. So, moving on. Next up, we saw Johnny Walker. Man, he got a victory by the hair on his chinny chin chin, and I say that if you go back and watch how this fight went down, it ended in the first round against Ryan Spann, and they're going at it. No filling out period at all. It was actually Johnny who was throwing a kick, and at the same time, Ryan landed a left punch to the chin. Wow. Stumbled Johnny back, and then he fell. Ryan gets on top, ground and pound, serious ground and pound. I was like, oh my goodness, this might get stopped. He had full mount and everything, y'all. But Johnny kept moving. He was able to give up his back, kind of get around, get up, work his way to the cage. He's standing up, Ryan's still on him, gets back into space, gets to separation. I'm like, whoo, he's probably still stunned though. Again, this all happens in the first round, like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Then they both go for a punch, and they both land same time. Wow, both land. Both kind of stun each other, but it's Ryan is actually kind of falls forward with it, so he kind of he's like, I'm just gonna roll with it even though I'm stunned. I'm gonna roll with it, fall forward, throw some punches. He ends up in trying to take Johnny down, got his head in between the legs or his head down, trying to take him down with Johnny's back pressed up against the cage. Johnny starts to rain down punches and elbows, punches to the side of the head, beats Ryan down to the ground. He's still in that position. Then he starts to rain down elbows, hard elbows to the side of the head. But I think he knocked Ryan out and then knocked him back up into consciousness. Either way, ref stopped the fight. Good stoppage, even though Ryan and his corner was extremely upset. I believe they thought there was a lot of hits to the back of the head. I didn't get a chance to see an angle where I could see that clearly, so y'all let me know whether hits to the back of the head. Either way, this all happened in the first round. Johnny nearly got finished, turning it around and finishing Ryan Spann. Great win for Johnny Walker. 205 division, wide open. Who would you like to see him fight next? Now, next up, I got this pick again. Like I said, I broke my own rule. Like I said, I got everything right. Next up, we saw Khamzat Chimaev. I say his last name better than his first. And you know, Gerald Meerschaert is talking all that trash. Hype train, how dare you gonna just schedule him 2 fights in a row like he's just gonna blow past me? I'm Gerald Meerschaert. I'm Gerald. Get knocked out in 17 seconds in the first round. Okay. Okay, so Chimaev, no filling out period, really. I think he threw a kick, maybe. He maybe threw a kick, but Gerald, I have to say, all that trash talk, you kind of look like a deer caught in the headlights from the beginning of this fight on. You kind of look like you knew what was going to happen, or that you bit off too much. You bit off more than you could chew. Chimaev throws a kick, backs him up. I don't even think a kick landed. Backs him up against the cage. He's kind of measuring him up. Throws a right hand, extremely quick right cross, straight to the chin. Knocked Gerald all the way out. Sleep. 17 seconds. Looks like Dana knew what he was doing when he double booked him. So we already know who he has next. He has Damian Maia next. I think I might be drinking the Kool-Aid, y'all. He's a big, strong, athletic, highly skilled. I'm listening to DC. He's talking about all of those wrestling accolades. He's like, y'all acting like he's so new. But if you look at the wrestling accolades, he's not that new. So yeah, I might be drinking the Kool-Aid, y'all. We know who he has next, but since we're double booking, who should he fight after Damian Maia if he gets through Damian Maia? So, one to watch. Now, co-main event, and oh, you know what? I didn't get every pick. My bad. I'm over here tooting my own horn. I did not get every pick because I chose Donald Cowboy Cerrone to beat Nico Price, and that did not happen. This fight ended in a draw, so I did not get every pick. So let's go ahead and talk about this. And actually, if it wasn't a draw, it would have went to Nico Price. Nico Price overwhelmed him with offense in the first round like I thought he would. He landed like 40 shots before Donald woke up. I was like, this might end right now. So Donald was able to survive that onslaught. He was able to block some things and not take everything full on. But again, he took a lot of punishment in that first round. He also took 2 eye pokes. His first one got a warning. Second one, a point was taken away from Nico Price. And that's why that first round, instead of going to Nico, was 9-9. Second round, Nico Price, again, was able to overwhelm him with offense, but he did start to slow down a bit. We saw that Cowboy was able to find his rhythm a bit, find his range, start to get his kicks there. You saw momentum start to swing in that second round. However, I agree the second round still goes to Nico Price. Third round went to Cowboy. The momentum totally slowed down. Nico slowed down. He was able to work his game plan, put together combinations, following them with kicks. He was able to take Nico down. Again, mixed offense there with his diversity and win that third round. So this ended in a draw because Nico got a point taken away. Otherwise, it would have been a win for Nico Price. So when the ref announced the draw, or the announcer announced the draw, Nico was like, yeah! And Cowboy was like, dude, not only is it a draw, but you should have won. Like, what you happy for? And then we saw afterwards, I had no idea that Nico Price was such a big fan of Cowboy Cerrone. He gave him another hug. He was like, I just bought like 2-3 acres and such. Not a ranch like yours. It's nothing like yours, but I'm starting, man. He literally said, man, I want to be you. I want to be just like you. He literally said those words. So I had no idea that he was such a big fan. I think Cowboy had no idea either. He was taken aback. Plus, he just lost a fight. So his look on his face, you could tell he didn't quite know how to process that. But afterwards, Dana White said he needs to have a talk to Cowboy about that possibly beginning of the end of your career type conversation. Cowboy himself said he needs to slow down. No longer taking 6 fights in a year, things of that nature. He just had a second baby. You guys let me know what you think. Should Cowboys just slow down? That's kind of how I feel. I think he did still look good, but he needs to kind of change. You're getting older. You got to make those old veteran changes. You got to fight differently, especially when you're in the smaller weight classes and it actually, speed kills, right? It's not like you're a heavyweight where they age a little bit different. So you got to fight differently when you get older. So Cowboy, you got to fight differently. You can't take all that punishment in the first round. So I think if you fight differently, you still have some left. Take your time, not fight as often. I do think you still have a career left there in fighting. But again, let me know what you guys think should happen with Cowboy Cerrone and Nico Price. Who should he fight next as well? Now, main event, and I got this pick. I'm sure some of you guys are surprised that I picked Colby Covington, but I did. I picked Colby Covington to beat Tyron Woodley, and he did. He beat him. He won all of the rounds. Let's get into this. First round was more competitive. You can see Tyron wanted to move forward. He mixed in some kicks there. He had some combinations there. One of the kicks, Colby timed perfectly and took him down, and that changed everything. After that, he took him down, was able to hold him there. Tyron, instead of just getting his back to the cage and standing back up, he was trying to hold the head, and I don't know what he was trying to work there with the wrestling, but I think that Colby's a better wrestler, so when he got you down, I just wish you just would have stood back up, but you didn't do that. However, when he got that takedown, it changed everything. Tyron was no longer mixing in kicks and moving forward, trying to have combinations. He was kind of waiting against the back of the cage, looking for one-handed quitters and all of that. That's the thing that, as I said in my prediction video, you can't do that. He did that, and that allowed Colby perfect positioning to push him up against the cage, dirty boxing, take him down to the ground. He got comfortable by the championship rounds. He was throwing more punches, sharp punches, throwing a lot more kicks, showing what he has worked on with his stand-up game. He looked great. He looked great. And Tyron, once again, looked like his heart wasn't all the way there. And Dana White said, I think ever since Tyron, everybody said, other comments, ever since Tyron started rapping, ever since Tyron started rapping, he stopped fighting. And you know what? There might be something to that. Him spreading himself too thin. You're in an extremely competitive weight class, and you're 38. You're in a position where maybe you can't be spread so thin if you want to still be competitive in your super competitive weight class. So I don't know. You let me know what should happen there with Tyron Woodley and who should be next for Colby Covington. Of course, he called out Kamaru Usman again, and he called out Jorge Masvidal again. He had the back and forth with Kamaru Usman. And let me say, with Colby Covington, you know how I feel about him. It's the fact that he traffics in negativity that I don't like about his trash talk, and the fact that it's completely fake and not him. Right. So if you're going to choose to be a villain, the fact that you choose to be the type of villain who traffics in such hate, I don't care for that. However, what he did with Kamaru on this back and forth with the headphones was hilarious. He went into pure ridiculousness and got some serious, genuine, and funny takes from Kamaru Usman. He was like, because Kamaru kept saying, I broke your face, because he broke his jaw. And he was like, broke my face? You broke your will. First off, you broke your will? And Kamaru was like, I beat you. And then he said something dragon energy, and Kamaru was like, it just cracked up. We all did. So if Colby, if part of this facade, the growth of your facade, is the traffic and the ridiculousness, like the dragon energy and all that mess, I'm all for that. That was hilarious. I'm all for that. So let's do that. And eventually this ended. Tyron Woodley suffered a rib injury in the 5th round. So that's why the fight got ended. I almost forgot to say that. That's why the fight got stopped. And for those who were saying, I saw a lot of comments saying like, well, everyone else talks, all the other athletes talk about race and people don't get mad. But when Colby talks about race, people get mad. It's not because or talks about politics. People get mad. It's not because he's talking about politics. Derek Lewis is a Trump supporter. An outright proud one. We love Derek Lewis. It's not Colby's politics. It's who he is. Again, like I said for myself, it's that he traffics in such negativity. You don't have to do that to be a bad guy. Connor has a nice balance. Why don't you check him out? I know you've been following this whole time, but then you went left. So it's not his politics. It's who he is. Look at all the other fighters. Everyone who comes across him seems to not like him as a person. So it's not his politics. Derek Lewis is a Trump supporter. It's who he is. So again, give me all the injury updates. Follow me, subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.